What is up, YouTube? JankyYGO here. My name is Michael. We have a lot of cards to talk about. So, I'm going to have a little bit low energy today. Because if I don't, I'm going to run out of breath talking. And, because strap in, everyone that watches my videos, all like 14 of you, we're going to go through a journey. First up is the new archetype, Sprigguns. Spriggan Rocky. Level 4, Fire Machine Effect Monster, 1800 attack, 800 defense. Decent stats. First and second effect, hard once returns. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target one Spriggan monster or vast desert gold Golgonda in your graveyard, except for Spriggan's Rocky, add to your hand. If this card is in your hand, field, or graveyard, you can target one Spriggan XD's monster you control and attach it to this card. I'm assuming that the second effect is kind of the point of the deck. I think most of the monsters, just looking at it, are probably going to have that effect. The first effect is going to be a good utility, like this one is. How the first effect is good utility, adding card back, attaching. It also attaches from the graveyard too as material, enhancing your Spriggan XD's monsters. Overall, good card. I'm assuming it's going to be a great card for the deck and a staple 3 of. Just based on that alone. Next up, Spriggan's PD. Level 4 Fire Machine Effect Monster, 0 attack, 2000 defense. The hard once per turns. You can tribute this card, then target one Spriggan monster in your graveyard, except for itself, and special summon it, so it summons something back. You can, funny enough, if Spriggan Rocky is in your graveyard, you can summon this, tribute it, special summon Rocky. Rocky's effect adds this card back. That's a neat little synergy. And then its second effect is same as Rocky. Like I said, I think most of the Spriggans are going to have that effect, so I'm going to say just, they have the Spriggan clause, or the Spriggan effect, where they add, and stuff like that. Decent. I like it. I like the little synergy between these two. I mean, they like being in the graveyard anyway, kind of, to attach, so that's not that bad. Any way of them being in the graveyard. And, but getting them back is never bad. So, recursion. Level 8 Fire Effect Monster called Sprigguns Banger. Level 8 Fire Machine Effect Monster. 500 attack, 2500 defense. First and second effect, hard once per turns. Oh, hey, this one doesn't, oh yeah. So the first effect is the Spriggan clause, where you attach it from your hand, field, or graveyard. And then its second effect is you can banish this card and one Spriggan monster from your graveyard, except for itself, and add one Spriggan card from your deck to your hand. Okay. You can Foolish Burial for this, and then next time you get a Spriggan monster in your graveyard, you can do that. Second effect, you can also get this card in your graveyard by attaching it as material for one of your Spriggan XDs, then detaching it and doing it that way. This card is pretty good. They kind of have ways to get themselves into the graveyard pretty easily already. I haven't read all of them, obviously, but that just shows that they kind of have pretty easy ways, and you can summon this back with the monster previous, the level 4 that tributes it, Petty. Its name is going to be Pete. I'm going to call it Pete. Pete. Yeah, this is probably, plus it's a trade-in target too. It's a trade-in machine target. This is an XD's base deck. I imagine that you just trade in this and then go from there. Also, you're playing, I'm pretty sure, I mean, they're fire and they're machine, but you could play Tin Goldfish and summon the gear that lets you search any machine type by detaching to, start searching as well. You play Tin Goldfish and then go from there. That's pretty cool. Synergies for this deck already for the rank 4 aspect. Anyway, we're going to move on to their next level 8 Fire Effect Monster that is called Spriggan's Captain Sargis, which has 1500 attack, 2800 defense, hard Its name's effects are hard once per turn. Has the Spriggan clause of attaching itself. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can detach one Xyz material from a monster you control, then target one face-up card you control and destroy it. So it kind of has an Xyz effect without even being an Xyz monster. Detach, bam, pop something. That's cool. Sprigguns Xyz monsters gain this, that was used as material, gain this effect, to gain 500 attack. It's just a nice bonus. You're not really gonna be like, I need to use this card as an Xyz material for that 500 attack boost. But it isn't a bad thing to have. Plus, you can attach it and everything using its first effect to get your monster a 500 attack boost. That's pretty cool. Alright, next up is the Xyz card. Ship Explorer. Rank Fire Machine Effect Monster. 1600 attack, 2500 defense, 2 or more level 8 monsters. Hard once per turn for its first and second effect. Choose one monster zone or one spell and trap card zone your opponent control, or on your opponent's field. Detach any number of materials from this card, and if you do, destroy cards up to the number of materials you detached in that chosen zone. That's a and or spell and trap codes, trap zones to the top, to the bottom, or adjacent to that zone. Oh, okay. I was like, that's a really weird, but I didn't read the full effect. So if you target, like, you choose the middle zone, it doesn't actually target either. You choose a zone and then you get to destroy those. So that's pretty cool too. That's a pop effect that doesn't target. It's not a quick effect, but it's still pretty good. Plus, the Sprigguns will attach themselves back. During your opponent's main phase or battle phase, quick effect, you banish this card till the end phase. That's also pretty neat. It's kind of a way to protect itself. And because the Sprigguns can all attach themselves back, you're never losing materials with this deck. So that's also just a decent, like, that one's actually a pretty good way of protecting yourself. Assuming you don't die, like, assuming they don't OTK you, but since it's not stunning, and since it looks like it's just meant to break boards from what we've seen so far, this seems kind of like a go second deck. Maybe you play, like, Nibiru, the Primal Being, help break their board at the right time, and then you just start summoning with this. And then you make this thing, and then just, like, blow up whatever's left of their board, or you have, like, kaijus, because kaijus are level 8s, the one that you would be playing, and you could, like, kaiju the thing that's going to stop you if they only have one, maybe two things. So you do that, and then you just go from there. So yeah, I think this deck has some potential. You just kind of have to, like, throw things together. I like that they don't lose material, but so far, my impression is, I don't know if they'll be meta. It just depends on what spell and trap cards and what other support we have for them. So we're going to keep trucking along. Cool. With Spriggan's Watch, normal spell card, you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Add one vast desert gold Gondola from your deck to your hand. If you control a vast desert gold gondola in your field zone, apply this effect. Add one Spriggan monster from your deck to your hand, then send one Spriggan monster from your deck to the graveyard. So their whole thing revolves around their field spell by the looks of it. So you're obviously going to be playing 3 Spriggan Watches, and you're obviously going to be playing a Terraforming and stuff like that, if the whole deck is going to revolve around their field spell. Haven't read their field spell yet, but with the search card specifically for the field spell, it kind of emphasizes already on how important that's going to be. And I like that this card turns into a Foolish Burial plus a search with this card. That's pretty good. And then on top of that, with this card, it says, where was it? Hold on. Okay, it says a Spriggan monster from your graveyard, except for itself. Okay, because if it said Spriggan card, this would be like a huge enabler for it, but it's still pretty good as an enabler for it too. So, definitely a 3 of. because it adds your field spell, and like I said, with the way some of these cards talked about the field spell, it's gonna be needed. Next up, Vast Desert Gold Golgonda. Field spell. Second, third effect, card once per turn. Spriggan XC's monsters gain 1,000 attack. Okay, makes sense. Their XC's monster doesn't exactly have a bunch of attack. If you do not control a Spriggan XC's monster, you can discard one Spriggan's card, special summon one XC's from your extra deck. Ooh. If a face-up XC's monster you control leaves the field by card effect, you target one monster on your opponent controls that cannot attack for the rest of the turn. Oh boy, so you don't even need to summon them. You don't even need to summon, like, have a way to, like, summon out the Spriggan XCs naturally. You just get it with the field spell. And on top of that, the field spell doesn't restrict you from summoning anything. Like, it doesn't say you can only special summon Spriggans or you can only special summon machines. It just says you can't have a Spriggan XCs to use that effect, which means that you can do what I said earlier. Gear Gigant X, I believe is the name of the card. You can, like, twin Goldfish into that XCs, into one of their level 4s. Maybe the one that special summons after you, like, Foolish Burial something and everything. Then you use this card, discard a Spriggan's card, special summon your XCs, and start attaching all your materials to it and stuff like that. So it's a way to get around that. And on top of that, the third effect doesn't care it doesn't care if it's a Spriggan monster. It just cares that an XC's monster left your field by a card effect. So what that means is that, like, you can stop your opponent from OTKing you, and it works really, really well because it doesn't say opponent's card effect with their XCs, so that you can, like, stop yourself from being OTK'd as well, and then start breaking their board over and over and over again, potentially. This card is definitely what makes the deck. Alright, if this deck is meta, if this deck does become meta, it's gonna be because of this card. It's gonna be a combination of this card and their XCs, and if we get better XCs or more XCs, it'll be even more on that level, because this card is absurdly strong. Well, absurdly strong compared to what we've read so far. Next up, Spriggan's Call. Trap card of the normal variety. First and second effects are hard once per turn. You can target one Spriggan's monster or Fallen of Albaz in your graveyard and special summon it. During either player's turn, except during the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card and one fusion monster from your graveyard. Then target one Spriggan's XC's monster you control. Attach one fusion monster to that list. Fallen of Albaz as material from your extra deck to that target as XC's monster. What is Fallen of Albaz? Is that a card that I missed at some point when cards were releasing? Maybe it was when I was taking a break from YouTube. That, like, long hiatus. Is that another archetype? I actually don't know what Fallen of Albaz is. I'll look it up later. Anyway, Spriggan Blast. Normal trap card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. If you control Spriggan's monster, choose one main monster zone in your opponent's field. If there is a face-up monster in that zone, it cannot attack directly. Also, its effects are negated until the end of the turn. If there is no monster in that zone, it cannot be used for the rest of the turn. If you control a fusion monster that lists Fallen Albaz as material, as fusion material, you can choose 2 zones with this effect. Once again, the trap cards care about Fallen Albaz, but none of the other cards care about it. So maybe, I don't know, I guess it depends on how good how good the fusion that requires that is. I'm just interested now because like I said, I don't know what that is, and if you know what it is, and you're like, oh my god, this guy doesn't know what these cards are. Go ahead and tell me in the comment section below. I'm probably gonna look it up after this video, but go ahead and tell me anyway, because comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Anyway, next up, Tribrigade Rendezvous. Ooh, Tribrigade support. Spell, quick play. Hard first and second effects. Target any number of linked beast / beast warrior / winged beast monsters you control. They gain 700 attack until the end turn. Meh. If a linked beast warrior or winged beast monsters you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. That effect much better, but the first effect leaves much to be desired. Gaining 700, making all of them, I guess. Gain 700, rush recklessly, for your whole team. I don't know if that's good enough. That just feels like you're just trying to, push for game, but I feel like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't really care about attack points most of the time. It's more about monster effects and the effects of cards. Having a lot of attack points can be relevant, but usually cards that have high attack points usually have built-in protection of some sort, so that's why having a lot of attack points becomes relevant, because you need to usually attack over those cards. But this card, the second effect is great. It's like a Return of the Dragon Kings or whatever, the one that you would special summon a 7 or 8 back, then you can banish it anytime a dragon monster or monsters you control would be destroyed. So yeah, second effect's good. First effect, in my opinion, leaves much to be desired. Yeah. Next up, Tribrigade Kit. Level 2, Fire Beast Effect Monster, 700 attack, 1000 defense. You can banish any number of... Okay, so it has a Tribrigade effect of banishing monsters to summon link monsters. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can summon Tribrigade card from your deck to the graveyard except for itself. So this turns Foolish Burial into a double Foolish Burial. That's pretty cool. This card is definitely pretty good for the deck. That's pretty sweet. Next up, we're gonna move right along. Oh, maybe Fallen Alabaz is it's a Dogmatika card, isn't it? Splend the Steel Express Dragon. Level 8, Dark Fusion Effect Monster. 2500 attack, 2000 defense. Materials, Fallen Alabaz monster. Plus one effect monster special summon this turn. First and second effect card once returns. During your main phase, you can move this card to another main monster zone on your field, then destroy all other face-up cards in this card's current column. That's pretty decent. During the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can take one Sprigguns monster or Fallen Alabaz card from your deck, then add it to your hand or special summon it. So yeah, I'm going to assume Fallen Alabaz has something to do with Dogmatikas, because the next card is a Dogmatika card. I might be wrong. Yeah, I might be wrong, but we'll see. This is the fusion that they kind of want, the idea of wanting with the Sprigguns. So that's pretty neat. Next up, last but not least, Dragma Genesis, or Dogmatika Genesis, as it is in the TCG. Normal trap card. You can only activate one card with this card's name effect. You can target one banished Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Link, and one effect monster your opponent controls that has the same card. Use Xyz, Synchro, or Link. Return the banished one to the extra zone and then negate the opponent's monster effects. That is pretty neat. Dogmatika's banished, right? I haven't really played against I know that they're a meta deck, but I actually haven't played a lot against them. The one time I did, like the 2 times I've played against Dogmatika, one of them quit in the middle of doing their combo. All of a sudden, I'm assuming they had to leave because I was playing online, with this whole pandemic thing. And then the other one, I negated one thing and then they just quit and they rage quit. So I don't actually know what Dogmatikas do. I know that they throw cards. They throw cards from their extra deck into the graveyard, and they don't care that their XCs and all that are in the graveyard. So yeah, that is it for this video. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday. If you want to send me any cool deck profiles or replays, my email's in the description. Tell me what you think of the Spriggan archetype and the Tribrigade support. I think the Sprigguns are pretty cool. I really like their whole thing of, we don't care that we are in the graveyard or anywhere, and our XC's monsters are getting materials whether you like it or not. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. Supports the YouTube channel is a good way to support the YouTube channel for free. Doesn't cost you anything to do so. And of course, and as always, have a wonderful day.